no debate. First place, go play.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Humble Greatness in the building. Man, it's early. It's really early. It's Saturday morning. Nobody wakes up on Saturday morning besides us. So I have two special guests with me. I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
Yeah. EKM with Wichita Promo, you already know.
Heather Richardson, and I have two bands, Nostalgia and Heather and High Frequency.
The Heather Richardson, for sure, live in person. So, man, we're here to talk about the Wichita music scene, man. So it's just our opinions, you know. Leave comments, leave likes, leave questions, leave anything you guys have. So we're happy to talk about it. So I'm going to pass the torch over to you first.
Okay.
So tell me about what you do.
Well, almost be a better question to be what don't you do?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
There's a lot. A lot of people think that, you know, having a band is easy, or being in the music scene is so simple, and it's really not. There's everything from getting the right band structure together, the perfect members, the musicians that know what they're doing, know how to be on a stage and engage with the crowd and keep them connected. Choosing the right music, obviously, knowing your crowd, and we constantly are changing set list. You know, booking events.
Man.
you have to have good relationships with venues,
Yes.
but you also have to bring them something that has value and quality to them.
Absolutely, for sure.
You know, creating all of the social media pages, all of the promotions,
So let me ask you
hours
this.
and hours of time there.
Who handles that for you guys?
I do it all.
No way.
I do it
Oh,
all.
you a beast.
Yeah, I do it all.
For sure. So let's go back to the first thing that you said about finding the right people, like the right band. I know that's extremely tough. So how many band members do you have?
So in Nostalgia, we have a total of 5, 6 if you want to count Alonzo Ross, but he does not sing. He tries to get on the mic and sing, but he
Alonzo
doesn't sing.
tries to get on the mic. Okay.
But he's been a tremendous asset that we added, I want to say 6, 7 months ago. I think it was March or April when we first interviewed him and talked to him. But we have, in the core, as far as musicians go, there's 5 of us.
How did you all come together?
So, when Nostalgia started, it was a different beast than what it is now.
I got you. Okay.
And Crystal and I have always been a part of it. But Crystal and I met through our coffee house.
Okay.
Colette, her sister, was doing the Our Apollo.
Okay.
And so that's how I met her. And she and I originally sang a song. It was during a Christmas show together.
Okay.
And there's 2 things that are very hard vocally to find anywhere. Someone who has a really good ear and someone who can harmonize.
Absolutely.
And 2, like, no show is ever the same. And no, obviously we do covers, so different versions
For sure. Absolutely.
get spit out all the time. We're constantly creating something different. And so on a fly, she can harmonize. On a fly, I can harmonize her. And so
Do all of your musicians play by ear then?
I want to say that it's not inherently by ear.
Okay.
I know that I'm just gonna leave it there because I don't want to bust
That's
anyone's
okay.
chops.
No, that's fine.
But if you ever come out, you're gonna see in our band. Like I said, there's 5 of us.
Yeah.
So 2 of us are standing on mics, and then the other 3 are the musicians. And I'm always blown away at the fact that we have 3 of some of the best musicians.
Oh, wow.
I feel in the nation. Truly.
Wow. Okay.
Because they make the sound like there's 15 musicians on stage. It is crazy.
Oh, I got you.
It is so
Okay.
crazy. So
That's awesome. So how long did it take you to build to what you have right now?
3 years.
Yeah.
3 years. Now, I will say, finding the right fit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even that anyone who's been a part of Nostalgia or Heather and High Frequency hasn't been good. I'm sorry, this is falling off my big head. That's unbelievable. But truthfully, when people vibe with each other, it's magical.
Absolutely.
So.
You're right about that.
You know, between Maestro and Micah, which Micah
is his son.
Yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then Charlie Ray and Maestro have been playing together in various forms, either bands or different groups for years.
That's awesome.
So it all just gels.
Yeah.
It all really gels.
For sure. You got a question, bro?
Oh no, that's all about nostalgia. What about Heather and High Frequency? How did all that get together? Because that's a whole nother. She got two.
Here's
bro.
the thing.
That's crazy.
Here's the thing.
Bro. That's a lot. That's a lot of management.
you say that it's a lot, but the thing is, you talk to anyone that is a musician in this town, and it is really feast or famine, truthfully.
Man.
And so if you've got the talent and you've got the time, if you're not making money over here, you're going to go over here.
Absolutely.
And so for me, when I found the magic that I found, I was like, oh God, we can't wait on this. And the thing is, vocally, we had 3 vocalists at first. And 2 of them were really relatively new to this. I've been singing on stages since I was 3.
Wow.
And so, and the musicians have been playing various, gigs for different musicians. So it was not so much about me or them being ready. It was about getting the vocalists all on the same page and getting them up to speed.
For sure.
And so it wasn't necessarily a bite back at them. It was giving them space to get up to speed, but creating avenues of income for the musicians.
Correct.
So that I didn't lose them.
Yeah.
And the thing is, ultimately, like, even with everything that I do, I am responsible for, including Alonzo, 5 other individuals, making sure that they get paid correctly, that they're treated correctly, that they're heard correctly. Because there's some venues that we go to that we're not running our own sound, that they have someone running sound.
Correct.
There's been festivals that have reached out and, oh, would you like to come? But they want to talk that money is going to be exposure. I've got exposure. I don't need that.
We know all about that in the hip hop industry.
Yeah. or they don't have the sound, right?
Yeah.
And the whole purpose of us even being on stage at any given point is to connect.
Absolutely.
And when we connect, we foster relationships with the people that will follow us or speak about us. And so if our sound sounds crappy, that's on our brand.
That's on us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't know that someone else is running the sound.
Correct. So nor do they care.
they really don't. They really don't.
Yeah.
And if they had to pay to get in, that's an issue. So for me, I feel very responsible from start to finish on all aspects for the musicians to be held up for the greatness that they are.
Yeah, for sure.
So, it was, again, Heather and High Frequency was to be able to get the musicians their recognition.
Okay.
And we were ready to go on this side of it, get us into different venues. So also at the same time fostering new relationships with people, because they had already heard me sing. They knew what I brought to the table. It was going to be a little bit harder to establish, okay, we're doing nostalgia.
I understand that.
So, I'm a business person.
Absolutely.
Very, very much so. And if there's a problem here, I know how to fix it over here. And that's Heather and High Frequency was the fixer and also the connector and also the one to get some doors open. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So It's different. Well, I'm gonna flip it over to EKM here in a second. What you do is totally like kind of different
Yeah.
than how we run hip hop here in Wichita. I'll have Eric talk if you want to talk a little bit about that. I can jump in.
Man, it's a lot. Throwing shows with hip hop, that's all you. Like I'm almost not even interested anymore. I thought about getting back into it, and then a lot of stuff is happening right now with hip hop in the city that just kind of made me back up again. I'm good.
Yeah, I understand.
First off, just throwing a rap show is very hard here because a lot of venues in town already won't take us. They think of us as like a liability for some reason, even though, you know what I'm saying? Check the records. All of Bros shows are literally recorded on YouTube. They are up. You can see there's never been a problem, but we are somehow a liability to these clubs.
Yeah.
So I also know a lot of them won't even take us. A lot of them will upcharge us crazy. I've heard some wild numbers thrown at us that I've also talked to like rock bands here in town, and they're like, what? I don't pay that.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
crazy.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's so much involvement in it. Even throwing these shows, rap is a different animal. I'm sure every show is like this with musicians, but I might throw a show and have 20 rappers on a list. 10 of them show up. I'm lucky. It's crazy. There's just so many issues with a show. I'm almost not even interested in that anymore. And I don't know how deep y'all want to go with what's going on with hip hop right now, but a lot of shows are being pushed forward, canceled, stuff like that for licensing reasons, they say.
All of a sudden.
I don't believe that personally, but that's my opinion. I don't believe it has anything to do with licensing, because I personally know there's tons of bands of different genres that are doing it with no licensing right now. This weekend, nobody's saying a thing to them. But
Yep. I think the thing is, we all have to come to an understanding, right, of what it takes to throw a certain show, because everybody is going to need something different. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially when you're talking about bands, you're talking about sound engineers, stuff like that. When you throw a hip hop show, especially locally, like you really don't need all those moving parts, right?
Yeah.
So,
yes and no. I've been to some that if the sound didn't sound right, because
yeah.
and you gotta understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think hold on. I think what I'm talking about is like for a show such as like a big, let's say country or rock show, I could see you having the big board, right, and a couple of people there. Us, man, we can run it through like a soundboard and a laptop with one person, right? We don't need like a whole bunch of hands involved.
True, but if the bass does not sound good,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to have the woofers jumping, especially in hip hop, bass heavy.
Yeah.
For sure. So it's just really, man, it's just really coming to an understanding of what we need and how can we make this successful for everybody. And that's going to look different in every genre, right?
Yeah.
The hard thing about hip hop is only really glorified when it's bad, right? So when everything's going good, nobody says anything, everybody overlooks it. But as soon as something bad happens, it's everywhere. Yeah. And then it's like, this is what happens all the time. And it's like, yo, I've done 30 shows since then. What are you talking about?
Yeah, bro, let me please say, because I get sent shit like 5 times a day on the Wichita promo page. I get sent positive stuff too. I get sent music, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I get like 5 posts a day of somebody sending me like a fight or some bullshit in town. They're like, bro, you should post this. You get so many views. That's exactly what is killing this shit. All these pages here in town that act like you're hip hop promoters, you're this and that, and you're posting violence. You're just posting like bullshit like that every day. You are exactly what is keeping us down in this shit. These police, you're out of your mind if you don't think the WPD is watching your page. They're watching my page. They're watching his page. They should be. If they're smart, they should be watching. Y'all posting that shit is exactly what's keeping us down. It's crazy.
And it's crazy because the thing about rap nowadays is everybody just wants to go viral. It doesn't really matter about the content or anything. They're just like, I just want to go viral.
Well,
whatever that means.
It's not even the same game
Absolutely.
anymore.
Correct.
Like, who really tunes in, sorry to the local DJs, but who really tunes in to radio stations anymore?
Yeah.
So your only avenues to connect really are through social media, YouTube, those things. And so going viral is like so competitive because there's just so much that you have to And the thing is like, as long as I've been even cultivating business pages or professional pages, things that worked even 3 years ago aren't working.
Don't work now. Yep, you're right about that.
So,
For sure.
if you're trying to really get out there, and here's the thing, Wichita, Kansas is not like, I was born in the East Coast, in the Bronx.
Okay, yeah.
I grew up on R&B and hip hop.
Yeah,
KRS-One, Wu-Tang.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
And so for me, like, just watching even the disconnect from venues.
Oh yeah.
And what they even understand our genres. You would not believe how many times we get referred to as hip hop. We are R&B. Now, I'm not going to say that I haven't brought up hip hop artists.
Correct.
We've had Big Sam. We've had Marquis.
He's one of the best performers, Big Sam. He's dope.
We've had Miss V.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And so because for me, which you talk about the messages that you get, I get a lot of messages.
Man, I bet
in my inbox that are wonderful.
Wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost like an opposite thing because I am white
Yeah, I understand.
and
For sure.
occupying in black spaces.
Yep.
And so, but that's where I grew up, and that's what is fundamentally part of my the fabric of who I am.
Of course.
So for me, when I was really like watching the music scene here, I was like, where I come from, it's all connected.
Yep. Yep.
You'd have rockers that would bring up someone that would do a few bars.
Absolutely.
Not even just R&B. You'd have that. And so it for me, it was a no-brainer. Every time we were at the Brickyard last year, we tried to integrate someone that would come up and do 4 of their songs. The band would even learn their music, and then we would go.
That's
from there.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really
And the
neat.
thing is, I wish that more people would do that. Hip hop is not as controversial. I mean, we've got country songs out there that are far more controversial, in my opinion, than
For sure.
hip hop is. And a lot of youngsters in this town aren't going to necessarily pick up an instrument. They're not necessarily going to start singing.
Yeah.
But lyrically, they're going to probably write more so that it can even be appreciated or even put into a book.
Yeah.
As far as poetry, even. You've got to allow all genres to exist. When you try to dim out one, especially upon 50 years,
Come on, man.
you're doing a massive disservice to the history of this country.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that, man, there's so much I want to say. You know what I'm saying? We don't even have enough time, which is really crazy. But man, there's a huge, for me, I have a huge heart for local artists, right? It's really a huge success for my brand and the people that work with me when stuff does go right. So, I mean, it's gone right for years, over 17 years, but it's still a success to see people who necessarily probably don't like each other, but that night they get along, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it just comes to an understanding of like, okay, this is what we're going to do, and we're just not going to tolerate the BS. Like, we're not. If you bring the BS, you're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it's doing it in a loving way and really getting people to really express their music, because no artist wants to record a whole bunch of music in the studio and never perform it. Nobody ever wants to do that, right? I doubt that that's the goal for anybody, right? So when you give them a safe place to do what they do and they're having fun doing it, that's a huge win.
Yeah.
And so I believe it was the DJ Paul show, I think, that got canceled recently.
Yeah.
The day before, something like that.
Multiple local artists were supposed to be on it. Sir Charles, I believe Thane, a couple others.
Yeah, they're all
just lost that opportunity.
Yeah.
For
overnight.
what?
Yeah.
All
like
cool
overnight.
dudes with no history of bullshit.
Yeah. It's wild, but
and again, if we being real, right?
Come on,
So
man.
there's different types of rap music. There's
Say
a
it.
lot of different vibes. There's a lot of different shit. Y'all need to educate yourself because DJ Paul would have been just fucking fine. If we being completely honest, who would have been in that DJ Paul crowd?
But the thing is, the powers that
That's
be,
the 90s.
the powers that
You're
be
right.
that control a lot of this crap, they do not care.
Yeah.
They put it all together, and it's from two situations that were major bad actors in this city. Like,
For sure.
you know, it just so happened that both of the times that those events happened,
Oh,
we
at
were
the
at
same
Moore.
place. Oh,
We
right
were at
down the
Moore
street.
when it happened.
Yeah.
The very first time, you know, literally where I parked my vehicle, the girl that got shot, her vehicle was like, I could have walked 14 steps and it was right
Yeah.
there. And I didn't hear it, but my drummer had heard the shots go off. Mm-hmm. And he was openly exposed. Mort's is very chill.
Absolutely.
And the thing is when you have people who, for whatever reason, and then you're going to sit there and tie it to a specific genre.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they weren't even in the building
For sure.
when that happened.
Yeah.
And so, and if I'm right, everything originated at a completely different location. I'm not going to
sure.
blast like
Yeah.
all of the,
You're right about that.
but you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so it's a bigger issue, and it really, in my opinion, has nothing to do with the music scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, shit can pop off anywhere.
Anywhere. Come on, man. Say that again.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
And so we're gonna see what the city does. I know that I have a meeting downtown next week with the city.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's gonna be great. I'm gonna come in there with a smile and with a great level of understanding. And at the end of the day, I just hope that we just all understand each other, right? Because when you start saying, "Hey, this person," the thing that had bothered me was my name had came up, and they were like, "When this man is involved in any of this, it always ends up poorly." I'm like,
Check
wow.
the history. It's never
For real?
happened. Never
I was like,
happened.
whoa, yeah. So so they wanted a phone call downtown. They wanted me to give them a phone call. I said, absolutely not. I want to come to you, talk to you guys in person. A phone call is nothing. When you put somebody's name into something that's not true, I need to physically talk to you. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
I'm sorry. I'm mind blown. This is the first of me learning of that.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Yeah, it's wild. So I had to postpone my event because all of a sudden they say the venue that I was going to do it at needs to update their entertainment license. And they've been doing all types of shows there. So all of a sudden they need to.
I'm not gonna. Here's the thing, though. And maybe I'm giving a little bit more of a benefit of the doubt. But when there are a few venues that aren't keeping up on things, and a lot of them do let things fall,
For sure.
because the city does. They hit them hard.
They do.
They were hitting them hard during COVID.
Super hard during COVID.
And a lot of these venues, like, and that's just it. You've got to go out and support live and local. You just have to, because a lot of these venues that are still here are literally because they like went through hell and back just to be here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But-
yeah, for sure.
Because they went through hell and back, the ones that are keeping up on this stuff and are doing the right things, that are getting hit with, you know, everyone leaving early because something broke out over here,
Yeah.
or, you know, all of a sudden they're having to accrue extra costs because now they're paying for more security, whereas before they didn't have to. Or, you know, patrons aren't really going out now because all of a sudden there's a fear.
Yeah.
You know, you do have to hold everyone at the same level.
I understand that.
So I'm not
For
going to
sure.
say that isn't, you know, coincidental,
Yeah.
but there could be some merit to it.
Yeah.
And it's not always like
I
a
think
good thing. But and also too, that's when the city is going to take advantage of stomping on it too. Oh, well, let's see who is
Yeah,
really.
let's see who's really supposed
we're
to be
gonna
doing this.
When maybe like pre-COVID, they
Yeah.
wouldn't have even gave two shits. Can I say that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, sorry.
No, and I fully agree with you on that. Right now, it's just the timing. Like even if everything is going how it's supposed to go, it's just the timing is weird now. Like,
Well,
okay,
but that's
this
what I'm
happens,
saying. They
you
use
know what
this
I mean?
as their in
Absolutely.
to cut it off.
So now it's like, yo, I gotta come talk to y'all and see what.
I'm not at all upset about the show. I'm not at all upset about the fact that you postponed your show. I'm upset about the message. It's the fact that they said that your shows end like in
all
violence.
of them, like every
They
time
tried to
he's
like
involved,
they're smearing your
Like,
name
what?
when it's like that's not even a that's
But
that,
listen-
we can prove that is incorrect.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's a
Here's the
shitty
thing,
thing
though.
to do.
And I want you to understand, I don't even think that it's so much that, now, granted, I'm sorry that they attached your name in any kind of fashion, but there is a freaking perception here, and I'm just going to call it as it is,
No, go ahead.
that predominantly black music, black entertainment, has the perpetual ability to create what they are scared of.
Yeah. for
Okay.
sure.
Now, again, have there been some incidents? Yes. But why are we not looking at all of the
At all.
incidents?
See, yeah.
Last night,
for sure.
I went across town and didn't know if I was going to be able to go and meet up with another musician to get some stuff because we're doing Zubilee next weekend.
Okay. That's
And,
gonna be huge for you guys.
Yeah. Went to get the stuff that we need to be able to do that. Didn't know if I was going to be able to turn. This is a completely far away. This is on Greenwich,
Okay.
completely far away from downtown area. Someone had gotten shot out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when I went to try to see what I could find out about it,
You're not gonna find
there's nothing.
Nothing, of course.
Nothing. So
Yeah.
again, you can be out anywhere at night. Anything can happen. It happens during the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I just targeting genres of music, artist, there is an attack on art, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There is. And
Right.
I'm sorry, but the burden is high on,
Hip hop.
the
sure.
people who are promoting it, who do have success in it. That's why your name got drawn into it. I mean, if we're keeping it real.
Yeah. If I wasn't doing anything, they wouldn't be paying attention.
Yeah.
It's just the facts,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
The weird thing about it is like, first of all, if we're being completely honest, I go to all of your shows, right? At this point,
I
I've got
appreciate you,
relationships with a lot of the guys that go to your shows. I know I typically know, of course, there's a few different ones every single time, but when I go to a Humble Greatness show, I kind of know who I'm going to see. I know like, all right, this guy's going to be in the building. This guy's going to be in the building. This girl's going to come. I typically kind of know who's coming. The people that go to your shows are not the people causing violence in this city. They're the people focusing on their music.
You're right.
That's why they're at the show.
You're right.
So,
And also,
and the logic doesn't, even if these guys that were with like a violent past were coming to your show, closing down this show is just taking away the opportunity to get out of the fucking violence. All you're doing is taking away their other avenue, their other, you know what I'm saying? That's the only other thing they do. And you going to take that away? What do you think they're going to go do now? They're going to sit in the streets.
That's the biggest thing right there.
you're right.
What are we doing?
And the thing about it is, the environment that we provide at these shows.
You give us a safe
It's
space
probably gonna-
where
it's- yeah.
for 4 or 5 hours, we're all chilling, just having a
it's
good
not even
time
that
listening to
long.
music.
It's it's like 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
So the thing about it is, you put them in a safe environment. That's probably the safest environment that they're gonna be in all week, for real.
Yeah.
Seriously, you know what I mean? So, we just gotta just get down to the bottom of it, man. I'm excited about next week. I really am. I'm excited about the meeting. But you said everything super clear, and I didn't know you were from where you were from. So, I know you growing up, and then coming here. My next question is,
Culture shock.
how the
Yeah.
heck did you get here?
So
For sure.
that's a long story. I don't know that we have that much time
That's
for that
fine.
story, but
Okay.
it's all relative to family.
I understand that. Okay.
So, I mean, and then, now
When did you
I'm a
move
grandma.
here? Let me ask you that.
I should claim this place, but I'm not going to.
Dang. How long have you lived here? Let's say that.
In Wichita?
Yeah.
I've been here since my daughter was 3
Okay.
and she's 28.
Gotcha. Okay. So
Yeah.
you have a Kansas driver's license.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, for sure.
But the birth certificate still says the Bronx.
Come on, absolutely, absolutely.
Here, and you know, it's nothing. I'm not ashamed of Kansas. Let me be clear.
Yeah.
But being artistic is
Come on, man. Say it.
apples and oranges.
Absolutely.
You know, and I do not like how people will use art, use it, abuse it, take advantage of it, make money off of it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about the artist. I'm
sure.
talking about
The behind the
Kansans.
scenes. Yeah. The behind the scenes.
we're gonna say just Kansans, and it's not just Kansas. I know it's not just Kansas, but and don't even understand that that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, they are so quick to say that they don't need it. They don't want it here. They don't want to put their tax dollars to it. They don't want to, you know, fund it in school. They don't want to, you know, shut down some streets so that there can be an event safely downtown or wherever it may be.
Man,
They don't
yeah.
they don't want to do all of these things, X, Y, and Z. But they sure as hell, when they want to, we're going to have a fundraiser. Who can we get to provide music?
Yep.
Can you do it for free? Really? or you know, who can we have paint this huge wall? And but you know, you got to bring your own supplies and you've got to do it. But we're going to give you exposure. The sign says your business. It doesn't say painted by.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, I
They-
can't pay my bills in exposure.
Yeah.
Like with my,
OMG. And
I
the thing
can't.
is,
I
and the
just
thing
can't do
is,
it. I wish I could, but I
yes,
can't.
yes. And they have no idea just how many artists are here in town that are struggling. Do not
sure.
have any kind of financial means. Now, not because they're not working a day job, because many of them do, but don't have the financial means to take care of themselves.
Right.
Mentally, physically, you name it. And if we're going to be real, art comes from a deeper place. It doesn't matter what the medium is. It's a deeper connecting place. It's a communication. Flat out.
powerful. Yeah.
Flat out. So when someone is hurting and they are lyrically, whether they're singing or they're rapping or, you know, doing spoken word, and they're communicating an emotion, it's connecting with someone else that has that emotion, but just doesn't have any kind of wherewithal to do what that person in front of a mic is doing.
Correct.
You're enjoying that, you're connecting, but you're not willing to pay for it. You're not willing to. Do you know what I'm saying? And the thing is,
Absolutely, yeah.
and the thing is, truth be told, even the Main Street artists, they are getting robbed of money too. I mean,
yeah, all day, man.
Yeah.
Some of these, there's a page on Instagram. I don't know exactly what it's called. I think I do, but I don't want to say because I don't want to jack it up. But there's a whole bunch of artists that are like, yeah, this is how my deal went and this and that. And I'm just like,
well,
Yeah, it's
but
wild.
no, I'm not even meaning just that. Someone can drop an album.
you're talking about right now?
Yeah,
Okay.
right now can drop an album. But even streamers, you know, they don't even make a penny for thousands of streams.
Yeah.
yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
You can also have that album, Apple, you know, title, whatever, for people to get. And still, you're barely making anything. The money and the revenue is in live performances.
Correct. You're right
But
about that.
then you have all of these different, and this is what kills me. Wichita, you guys will spend $100 on a ticket to go see someone at Interest Bank Arena where you're
Yeah.
literally sitting on top
Yep.
of each other.
Yep.
You're never going to meet that person. Probably never going to shake their hand or get their autograph. But there are live local artists here that you won't even go out and spend $5 or $10 to get
$10.
into a show.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're here. And then when they blow up, you want to be like, I knew them when, did you really? But did you really?
Come on, man. Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it blows my mind. It
Yeah.
literally blows my mind. How many people, and this, again, hypocrisy of Wichita, how many, and yes, I'm going to go here, white people were at Snoop Dogg?
Oh, that shit was packed. Yeah, it was crazy.
How many white
Yeah.
people were
Sea
at
of
Snoop
white
Dogg?
people.
But yet you, and,
Come on,
and I'm
man.
sorry,
Come on.
how many hoes and bitches were in his words.
Yeah, for sure.
Crazy.
And you guys weren't scared at all to go there. But yet you want to shut down local hip hop artists from being at a local location sharing their art. Art. It's art. It's art. It's not hate. It's not violence provoking. It's art. It's their reality, and you want to shut it down. You had no problem with rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice.
Yeah.
Yep. You're right.
You know, got no love for hoes. I'm out there. You had no problem with that. And you knew every single word. You were probably even trying to jump on the N word in those bars.
Absolutely.
Knew every single one of them. But yet, because you don't want to even get to know a local hip hop artist, you don't want to hear it, you don't want to go support it, no one should have it. Okay.
You know how much
Make
it
that
costs to
make
go
sense.
meet Snoop and Wiz at that most recent one? I looked at the tickets. It was like $750 a ticket just to go meet them.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
great.
saying.
They'll pay
They're
for that too. That's crazy.
They will,
That's crazy.
but a lot of them won't.
Yeah, but
And
the
they
fact that
still-
anybody will consider that in our shows, they don't give a fuck about is crazy.
Well, I mean, I saw some BTS photos and people was lining up to meet them.
Yeah,
so people
that's
was
crazy.
paying the ticket.
That's crazy.
People were paying the ticket. $750.
Yeah, $750 a
Yeah,
ticket.
man. It's
No.
yeah. So
It's a shame to me.
Man,
yeah,
that's crazy.
And the thing is, I was hearing someone talk. This was just last night about the new inspiring music that Stoop has been releasing for the children.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Yeah. So here's the thing. I really hope that there are a lot of white people who listen to this. Because here's the thing. We start here and then it goes here. So what you may not connect with right here gives them an avenue to grow, to meet more positive people, to meet more positive energy and evolve. If Snoop Dogg can do it, why do you not think that your local people can do it? And why wouldn't you want to support your city? I
We
just
have
don't
a
understand that.
ton of local artists.
Crazy.
Like I record so many people.
Crazy. I try to tell people all the time.
It's crazy.
I bet if I sat here for like the entire day and just tried to write down names, I bet you I could come up with 500 rappers right here in this city. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a ton of them. They're everywhere.
So much.
They're everywhere for sure.
So much talent too. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's a weird thing with, and I don't know if you'll want to speak on this because you're involved in music a little much, but rap got a lot of gatekeeping here too. The big shows are bullshit. Like, man, I'll see people all the time on like Facebook and Instagram and stuff. See, like I'll just throw out a completely random name, like OMB Peasy comes here quite often, and I'll see somebody throw up like, we got OMB Peasy coming in town. Who should open up for him? And it's just a popularity contest. It's just who can have the most friends tag them in there, and then they get put up on that stage. And that's the dumbest shit in the world to me. Why don't you find somebody who sounds like OMB Peasy here in town and put them on that stage, and then they'll blow up because you put them in front of the crowd that loves that type of music. Yeah. It's crazy that small artists here in town never get that look. It's just a popularity contest.
I totally get that. I feel that 100%. But sometimes I think too that coincides with the promoters that do this too.
Yeah.
They, it used to be back in the day, you submitted.
Absolutely. You submitted
cassette,
the music.
I'm dating myself. A
press
cassette
kit.
tape. Well, no, it wasn't even necessary. You had to give a cassette tape. Yeah, I'm old. And
I was on the
show,
cassette tapes too.
And show, what you did.
Yep.
And they would actually have people that listen. That was when they actually listened to shit.
It's like a panel.
Listen.
A panel of people.
And then they decided, okay, yeah, you're going to be best fit for opening over here.
Yes,
you're going to be.
that's
so
what needs to happen.
they don't do that anymore. And it is purely popularity. But that's where we were talking before we started. That the scene is so different now in getting exposure. It's completely different. And a lot of people take advantage of that. And I think I think it's safe to say too, because of how many times people will reach out to me, hey, do you want to come sing at this event that we're going to do? one that's happening today. I was asked, and I said, "What's your budget and who's your sound?" We don't have a budget, but we do have better sound than last time. Okay,
that doesn't answer my question.
so what I said, do you know what my
okay.
answer was? I was like, I'll try to make it through to show some support.
Absolutely.
That's where I left it. And it's not because I'm snooty and my nose is up, but you know what? I have a brand and I'm representing people in my brand.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do something that would jeopardize Crystal or Maestro or Charlie
For sure.
Ray. I'm constantly in process of thinking.
Yeah.
Whereas they don't always think it. They're like, oh, she's got this many she can bring.
Correct.
Can you come?
Yeah.
You're not. And here's the thing. When you're charging too,
Absolutely. It's
and I
different.
see your flyer that you charging, don't think that you're going to use me to help you gain and not have it be reciprocated at all. I mean, it blows my mind. I have no problem. My main objective is when you're successful, I'm successful. Most definitely.
Yeah, then we're gonna keep doing business together.
But
It makes sense and works.
let's make it make sense.
Yeah.
Literally.
I agree. So it's a lot, man. The crazy thing is there's so much good that happens in this business, and I love this business.
Yeah.
I really do, man. I love giving people a chance because when I came here in Wichita in 2005, you couldn't even get a music video from anybody. Nobody shot videos here.
Yeah. Things are improving for sure.
Yeah, so and there was, I think, and I could be wrong, but there was one dude that I knew at the time.
Yeah.
His name was Rex. He recorded for Buckhead, Enough Said. And he was like the only person that I knew that was recording hip hop at all. But since he was part of Buckhead, Enough Said, which was a label, it was tough to get in with him because he's recording artists that are on his label, and then he may try to make some extra time for you. But I was like, man, Wichita, and I graduated high school in Atlanta. So when I come here, I'm like, yo, there's so much opportunity to go ahead and blow the doors off of this thing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nowadays, man. I mean, we got people that shoot videos, we got studios all over the place. Like, we have great photographers here in town. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like now's the best time to be an artist. I feel like it's so easy to get into. Like, you could literally get a DistroKid account or something and start uploading music today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but the thing about it is, it's easy to get into. So a lot of stuff is kind of just like watered down now. A lot of it is, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing to me how much is a DistroKid? Like,
It's like $15 a month or less. Yeah.
For $15 a month.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I can record something from my bedroom
Yeah.
and be on the same streaming
platforms.
services as Jay-Z, Beyonce,
Yeah.
as anybody else.
Yeah.
That's wild to me. Like, there isn't a Spotify beginners list or a Spotify amateurs and then Spotify there's no tier.
Yeah.
I can literally pay $15 a month
It's crazy.
and be on the same platform as a professional artist. That's wild to me.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, the doors are wide open when it comes to this. Of course, you still have to put the work in, right? But
Oh yeah.
man, when I was an artist, it was almost impossible to get this stuff done, for real.
Yeah.
And like, YouTube was just coming out. I was back on the MySpace days, bro, doing music. Like, that's kind of where it all started. So like, where it is now, and when I hear artists complain, I'm like, I don't even know what you guys are complaining about. You guys have it so much easier.
Yeah.
Right? But
Well, but I'm glad that you say that.
yeah, come on.
Because here's the thing too. What gets in my inbox the most often is someone who either wants to join us on stage, and here's the thing, has never been to a show, just you know what I'm saying, has heard some of the build up and the hype, wants to get on stage. Okay, cool. And I would have no problem doing that. But there, I need a little bit more from them.
Yeah, for sure.
But then there's the hate that comes along with it too. must be nice that, Heather's over here and
I worked
Nostalgia's
my
over
tail
here.
off
and
to
then
get here. What do you mean?
But that's just it. That's just it.
Worked my butt off, man.
I own all my own sound. That was not free. That was not
absolutely.
free.
Yeah, it takes years to get there.
$1,500 for new wireless mics.
And if they break right now today,
It's on me.
I have to buy
replace.
them tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
It's not
I
like
already
you
know.
take it back to, Walmart and say, because you can't get that, not the real good shit at Walmart.
No,
Come on.
absolutely not.
But even at that, rehearsal space, you got to rent that shit if you don't have it in your own home. And I'm sorry, I love my band, but we loud. And I've
absolutely.
got a 4-year-old granddaughter that lives with us. We can't be doing that. So, then there's putting all of photography for the photos.
Yep.
That's not free.
No.
And yeah, you can have someone snap a couple with an iPhone, but come on, you got to.
Yeah, you got to elevate the brand.
If you're wanting to be paid, you got to create and show what that value looks like.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be an iPhone picture. I'm just being real.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
You know what I'm saying? It takes time to cultivate all of your social media posts, being able to connect with people.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things take time. If anyone understood, which other musicians that are doing it understand, I don't make anything. I put a lot into it. Okay. First and foremost, I make sure that my musicians make money. But even they will probably, if they were sitting at the table, would say, this keyboard cost X amount of dollars. And it's not going to last for, 30 years.
It's not.
These strings on this bass have to be redone every so, all of these things happen. And even at that, if Crystal or I get sick vocally, that's a gig that we may not be able to do. It's just all of these things.
So many moving parts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not enough for you to wake up and you can spit some bars or sing. You've got to have all of these moving pieces.
Yeah.
And anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. But are you going to do it?
Are you gonna do it? You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You just have to.
So stop hating on me.
You got to come on.
Because
now.
I'm doing it.
Come on, hey, I'm out here with you, girl. I'm out here with you, trying to get it done. But yeah, it's a lot, and that's what I've told people before. Like, I had told an artist last night. I said, bro, I didn't spend like $10,000 on like music video equipment to work for minimum wage.
Yeah.
I didn't. Come on, no,
Yeah.
absolutely not. All the knowledge and all of the hours that you spend, and it's just so much. And I told him too. I said, okay, if I drop my camera right now and it breaks,
Yeah.
y'all don't care. Y'all will just pay somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
But that falls on me. I got to have the same camera or better tomorrow.
Right.
Right. I can't just sit here, wait, and be out of business. So I really think it just comes down to, the truth. We're all paying for something, right? We're all paying. And when you see shows and all this other stuff, every time I see a show, and I tell EKM all the time, I'm like, I'll walk into somewhere and I'll just be like, man, I wonder how much of this cost to put together.
Yeah.
I tell them that all the time. I'm like, man, that's cool. Everybody having fun. But I'm just like, man, how much did the screen cost? How much did the security cost? What was the deposit? I wonder what they were talking about in a meeting in order to get something done like this.
Yeah.
It takes a team.
Yeah.
It's not just one dude like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. Even when I do shows, I have a team of people.
Yeah.
I got to have security. I got to have somebody doing sound. I got to have whatever, man. There's at least 10 people probably every single time I do a little small local show. And they got to get paid.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, I can't let you in for free, or I can't have you guys just go on stage and perform for free.
But we're friends. We're friends,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, we are.
You've known me since.
Come on.
Come on.
Yep, in one ear and out the other.
People don't understand. They don't know that that's all you. They think the club provides everything.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, they don't understand that.
Absolutely not. The clubs usually just provide the venue.
I don't remember which episode it was, but I broke down the numbers on.
But you know, unless your numbers are right, which that's a conversation that we can have later.
Yeah.
But like sometimes I feel, and this is where I say, there's some abuse.
Come on,
we
now.
want it. We're gonna make money off of it, but we ain't gonna. I know you know what I'm talking about.
I love Wichita. I love the music scene.
Here's
here.
the thing too, and it's not trying to disrespect
It's
Wichita.
not at all.
It's not. But when you have over here these people who want,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have people over here who are willing to supply the need.
Mm-hmm.
Like how do you not understand?
Well, yeah.
You know,
The meshing point.
do you know
really.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you don't just show up at McDonald's and say I'm hungry, and then they just hand you food.
Yeah, you gotta pay.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta wait
Like
in line and pay. Like
there's
everybody
someone
else.
who opened the business, who's paying the electric bill, who had the food brought in. There's someone back there that's putting your burger together, hopefully correctly.
It never looks like the
It's
picture,
a bad
but whatever,
analogy.
you know,
Yeah, it's a
whatever.
bad analogy. But there was a lot that goes into it, and then for you to sit there and expect it to be free.
Come on, man. That's goofy.
Or
Yeah.
It is, it's goofy.
or in cases, and I know you're gonna follow this, they get the burger for free, but then they turn around and sell it over here for $5, and you didn't even make that $5. Do you get what I'm saying?
We backdoor hustling.
Yeah.
Well, but sometimes I feel like that's how some venues
Or
behave with some artists. You know?
I agree.
And that's
No,
why I will
fully
not
agree.
be in those venues.
Yeah.
So-
And also it comes to a understanding of maturity. Not every opportunity is your opportunity. You know what I mean? So just because you have something and I can possibly help you out, if the terms don't make sense, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna sit here and complain about something, right? I don't want to be. If I do what I do, I'm doing it at a high level every single time, right? There's no other way. So I'm not going to sit here and force myself to do something that I don't want to do. Now I really don't want to be there. Now I have a bad attitude about it. Now that reflects on everything that I have going on, and people see that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's other people you can reach out to. Thank you for considering me, but the terms just don't make sense. I can't do it. And that's it. And like you said, I might show up in the crowd. I might be there. Hey, high support, give you a hug, pat on the back, and hey, I got other things to do. But yeah, not every opportunity is your opportunity.
Yeah. For sure.
That's all I have to say, man. We've been at it for a little bit. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I love you guys. I really do. Well, that's another episode of Humble Talks. If you have any questions, comments, I will have our information down below. Everything happens with conversation. So when you have open conversations and being honest, we're not sitting here upset, bashing anything. We're just talking about the realities that we've faced. That's all it is. All it is experiences. Some are good, some are bad. So to come to an understanding at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. So
Hey, money talks, numbers talk. So pull up to
Absolutely.
these shows. You see all these shows getting shut down, start pulling up and supporting. That's the only way you're going to convince these people to stop
really be
shutting
like
them down.
10
Numbers
bucks.
talk. That's the only
15
thing they
bucks.
care about, if I'm being real. Start pulling up. Pull up to these shows. Come on. What are you really doing? What are you really doing that's more important?
that's it, man.
Come on.
You're right. You want to say anything else?
Just that, I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. And sometimes I feel like, podcasts like this actually allow people that may not know.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And I
For sure.
feel like even myself, it's been a learning curve since doing it, you know? It's far different to just walk up and start singing or, and then when you are actually the enterprise that's making the stuff happen, there's a lot to it. And I'm hoping that people who are listening got a little bit more behind the scenes
understanding,
information
for sure.
so that they understand. And I again, not trying to bash Wichita, but the thing is every single person in this town utilizes art in some way.
For sure.
Yeah.
Start not taking it for granted and really support it. Like he said, show up, pay $5 or $10 to get in, $20 is even less than $100 ticket.
I'm gonna tell you this: if I go to a show anywhere else, it's $20 just to park my car.
Yeah.
So I don't
Oh my
understand
God.
why
Yeah.
$20 for entry
Well,
fees nothing.
I mean, New York, you can't even have a car there. You know, you're paying lift fees and everything
Absolutely,
else.
yeah. It's too crowded.
So, I mean, you know,
For sure.
like keep it real. Wichita is really, I mean, it's a little big. You know what I mean?
It is. Yes.
And so there's a lot of great attributes that are here, and it is so very centrally located. So you know, there's so much that influence that is here, but there's a lot of great things here too. We just have got to make sure that we are fostering good communication and good efforts in building it and keeping it build, you know, going upward and outward versus trying to dim anyone. Knock that off. Knock that off.
Yeah.
Right.
There's room for all of us.
There is room for all of us. That is a fact.
Yeah.
So, all right. Another episode of Humble Talks. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Take care.